What's going on, everybody? Welcome into Blazers Uprise Live, presented by Bet Online, here on a Monday, a very important Monday, as the Blazers' $6.5 million trade exception they got from the Robert Covington trade expires today. So, still the chance that there's a deal later today. If one happens, we'll go live on the main channel. But for today, we're going to talk, obviously, trades. We're going to do picks against the spread, and that's going to be our stream. And then after that, I will have a game preview for tonight's game against the Bucks, dropping around 5-ish. Shout out to Mateo. He's already edited the audio for me. I just got to put the graphics on that thing. And shout out to Reese for getting the stats for that. Anyway, Eric, what's going on, man?
Not much. How you doing today, Tori?
I'm doing good, doing good. Just ramping up, starting to feel the pressure of an upcoming trade deadline stream.
Yeah. Couldn't sleep last night. Was checking my phone every hour. Got a few text messages early this morning. Had to rush to the phone to see if it was a trade or not. Yeah.
Yeah. Meanwhile, I'm arguing with a Facebook page on Twitter about TPE rules. We'll talk about those when we get into it. So that was a fun ordeal on Twitter today. Anyway, hopefully all of you guys are having a good day.
Be cool. Well. Be cool if we got a trade live reaction.
That'd be cool, yeah. And then we have to switch streams, and that would be this whole thing. Yeah. So we'll see if anything goes down today, but we'll talk a little bit about that after picks against the spread, assuming nothing goes down between now and then. Speaking of picks against the spread, Eric, let's jump into it. Once again, picks against the spread is presented by BetOnline. Use that promo code BELIEVE for a 50% reward bonus. All these spreads in this segment are available on BetOnline. You can get in parlays, live betting, all sorts of fun stuff too. And then Super Bowl coming up, you can get in on that as well. Thank you to them for sponsoring this episode. Eric, Jackson did way too well last Thursday.
Yep.
I thought I had a decent day. I thought I was starting 6-0. One of the games went against me, and then the last couple went against me, and I was 5-3. And at least everybody's 500 or better, and everybody's on the come up, it seems. But Jackson just won't relinquish the lead. I can't take sole possession of the lead because this dude goes 7-1.
Yep, great day for him, but still 8 games today, so anyone's game.
Yep, and then double downs are looking better. Last year we sucked at them. To start this season, we sucked at them. Lately, everybody's been doing pretty well on double downs, especially Zach, who started 0 for 6, 0 for 7, and now it's 18-13 on double downs. He's an automatic dub on double downs right now.
Yeah, I freaking double down on the Lakers at -2.5, and they won the game but didn't cover.
Yeah, that was tough. That was the one bad beat that I had early, the first 5 games or so. So tough, but that's the way it goes in picks against the spread. Now let's jump into game number 1. Detroit is hosting Boston, and Boston is a 10-point road favorite.
All right, so I'm just gonna check BetOnline real quick. I know you probably just did that, right?
Yes,
because Jaylen Brown
25 minutes ago
was just ruled out, so I just want to make sure the spread is.
Yeah, definitely check it, and I can update it too, as always.
So Jaylen Brown's out, Marcus Smart, Luke Cornett, so no Cornett contest tonight, and Danilo Gallinari out for the Celtics. For the Pistons, are without Cade Cunningham and Marvin Bagley.
The spread is still 10.
It's 9.5, but yeah. Basically 10.
I can change it.
All right.
I can change it. No.
That way there won't be a push.
Yeah, exactly. If it was the other way around, then I wouldn't change it. And I always save these graphics as Photoshop files, so it's really easy to change the spread. Alright, there we go. Boston, 9.5. Save.
I got no one's picks. We got Connor and Arrowmancer picking Celtics.
Connor, Arrow, Celtics.
I did. Jackson's in here too. No idea about Trevin. And Zach. Gonna have to do our live calling of Zach on the air, maybe.
Maybe.
Oh, there's Zach. No, and Trevin. Nice.
All right, what do you?
Good job, guys.
What are we going with here?
Trevin and Zach are both Celtics, by the way. I'm going Pistons. Just gonna take the points. Sorry, Jackson.
I'm gonna go Pistons as well, actually.
Not even close to an island.
And Jackson goes Pistons. And chat is going Celtics. Cool. With 54% of the vote.
Just to let you know, the games up next aren't right.
Yeah, I meant to hide that. I think I hid it for the following ones. Anyway, game number 2. Wow, it's not hidden for any of them. You got Washington hosting the Cleveland Cavaliers, and Cleveland is a... I can't see my own graphic. 3-point home favorite.
Road favorite.
Road favorite.
Yeah.
3-point road favorite. You know it's bad when I can't read my own graphic.
Dylan Windler, Ricky Rubio out for the Cavs. Big surprise. Wizards have Kyle Kuzma and Bradley Beal out. I'm going to go with the Cavs.
Yeah, I'm surprised the spread is so low with those two guys out.
Yeah, me too. That's kind of scary, though. Jackson, Aeromancer going Cavs. This might be our first all one side, unless someone is brave.
Yeah, you went Cavs?
Yeah.
And then Trevin went Cavs.
Did the Cavs play
Connor
yesterday?
Went Cavs. Maybe.
That's
that
the only
could
thing
explain it.
Maybe they thought someone wasn't playing, but it looks like...
I mean, I'll go back on Bet Online and check the spread too, because I'm curious. Oh, well, the spread is 4 now on Bet Online.
4? Okay. I don't think that really is going to change anyone's vote. Let us know if it does, though.
Yeah, that's what I'm updating it to. We'll do 4. I'm still going Cavs. But if anybody wants to feel frisky,
that 1 point is going to make a huge difference.
watch it be a 3-point or 4-point win. That'd be hilarious. All right. Changes my vote from the Cavs to the Cavaliers. Jackson went. Where'd Jackson go? Cavs, okay. And then what'd Arrow go?
Arrows, Cavs, Jackson, Cavs, everyone Cavs.
All right, chat's Cavs. All right, clean sweep. We don't get many of those anymore, so that's cool.
J King, please don't try to ask questions that could be related to getting someone in trouble legally that we're not gonna answer.
I mean, yeah, I'm not gonna answer that question, bro. Anyway, game number 3. You got Brooklyn versus the Los Angeles Clippers. The LA Clippers are 8.5-point road favorites.
The Clippers are just without John Wall, currently listed. The Nets are without KD, Seth Curry, Ben Simmons, and newly acquired Dorian Finney-Smith and Spencer Dinwiddie will not be making their debut tonight.
What happened to your audio?
I don't know.
Keep talking. Is it better now?
Hello?
Still a little quiet. Is he good on your end, chat, or am I tripping?
I don't know.
My ear stopped working? I mean, it sounds a little better now. It just all of a sudden sounds staticky and muffled. Okay. Strange.
I didn't do anything. Yeah.
Yeah, weird. Anyway, he's vibing. Says, Cuddy soup. Bonnie says, you're tripping. Damn. Okay, there's the chat poll. Who's out for this game, by the way?
John Wall for the Clippers. Pretty much the whole team for the Nets.
Okay.
Kevin Durant, Seth Curry, Ben Simmons, Dorian Finney-Smith, and Spencer Dinwiddie.
I'm just going to go with the Clippers then. Trevin is Clippers. Yeah, your audio sounds better now.
Cam Thomas scored 44 the other day.
Yeah, I saw them celebrating that. I didn't know how much he scored, though. Good for him. Dude, why is BetOnline changing all the spreads on me at the last moment? What are you going with, Eric?
I'm going to take the points in this one.
Okay, Connor did too. Jackson loves talking in the third person.
Jackson took Clippers, yeah.
We need Zach and we need Arrow. Zach goes Clips and Arrow goes with the Chatwin Clippers as well. Hurry up, Arrow. You've had long enough to think. The Brooklyn Nets, cool. Alright. Game 4. You got Houston hosting the Sacramento Kings, and Sacramento is a 6.5 point road favorite.
The Kings don't list anyone on their injury report. They got De'Aaron Fox back tonight. The Rockets are without Kevin Porter Jr. and a big loss for them, Garrison Matthews.
That's huge. Huge loss.
I'm going to take the Kings.
I'm taking the Kings as well. Honestly, I feel very comfortable with a lot of these picks. So,
Jackson Kings.
If you're feeling comfortable with any of these picks, anyone in chat, you can use that promo code BELIEVE. 50% rewards.
Arrows on the Kings.
Zach is going Rockets.
Yes, I did, Chris. You got a problem with that? You gonna stick up? Is Garrison Matthews your boy? I'm sorry. Trevin's Kings. You put Rockets.
Yeah, I meant to put Kings. Whoops. Connor's Kings. And Chat is Kings.
Zach Island.
Chat's Kings. Alright. So, game number 5. Chicago versus San Antonio. Chicago is a 9.5 point home favorite.
The Spurs are without Trey Jones, Jeremy Sohan, Romeo Langford, and Devin Vassell. Keldon Johnson questionable. The Bulls are without Lonzo Ball, Javonte Green, Alex Caruso's a game-time decision, and Patrick Williams probable. Arrow is Spurs, Jackson Bulls. Just make sure there was no...
I'm going Spurs.
I'm going to take the Bulls. Zach is on the Bulls.
Trevin's Bulls.
Waiting on Connor. Connor Spurs.
Okay, Connor Spurs. Chat is Bulls. Alrighty. And poll game number 6 is Utah hosting Dallas, and Utah's a 10-point home favorite.
Yeah, so this one's another weird one. Mavericks are without Luka Doncic, Davis Bertans, Maxi Kleber, Kyrie Irving, and Markieff Morris with Frank Ntilikina questionable. And the Jazz just list one Jared Vanderbilt as questionable with a back injury.
Ooh, that's questionable.
Zach says Utah. Jackson, Utah. I'm also going to go Utah.
I'm going to go Utah. Wow.
I mean, if the Mavericks had like Dinwiddie or something still.
Yeah.
Maybe, but yeah.
Josh Green masterclass incoming.
Maybe.
Christian Wood, yeah. Connor is going Mavs. Because of that Christian Wood masterclass that's incoming. Oh no, that was Arrow. Arrow went Mavs too. The Dallas Mavericks. And chat is the Jazz.
Wait, so did Connor officially go Mavs?
She said Christian Wood masterclass. I'm going Mavs, so I assume he's going Mavs.
Okay.
Game number 7. You got the Golden State Warriors versus the Oklahoma City Thunder. Golden State's a 3-point home favorite.
All right, the Thunder are without Lou Dort, Alexei Pokusevski, Ousmane Dieng, and Jeremiah Robinson-Earl. The Warriors are without Steph Curry and Andre Iguodala. Jackson's going Thunder.
Same.
Devin, we would answer that in a minute.
Yeah, we got you. Just ask it again in a minute when we're done with this segment.
Trevin Connor Warriors.
Trevin.
Zach Thunder.
Chat is on the fence, but you know they always swing favorites. Oh, there it is. It's the Thunder. Who are you going with, Eric?
I'm gonna go Warriors.
Eric's going Warriors. Chat's going Thunder. Chat's going Thunder. Split vote. Cool. Final game. Your Portland Trailblazers hosting the Milwaukee Bucks, and Milwaukee's a 4-point road favorite.
Who am I missing from last game? Hold on just a second. Who did Eric go with? Golden State? Okay. Cool. Just missing someone. All right, so the Bucks have Bobby Portis out. Giannis Antetokounmpo is probable. The Blazers have Yusuf Nurkic, Justice Winslow, Ibu Baji out, with Drew Eubanks and Gary Payton II listed as probable.
By the way, I'll have the preview for this game on the main channel, dropping as a video between 5 and 5:30.
I'm going Bucks.
Wanted to have it out a little earlier, but things happen. Bucks for Eric, Bucks for me.
Bucks for Trevin, Bucks for Jackson, Bucks for Connor, Bucks for Aeromancer.
Zach goes with Portland. And chat goes with the Bucks. That was quick. Oops. All right, so Zach Island with the Blazers. Everybody else is going Bucks. Time for double downs. Chat's double down, I believe, was the Kings?
Yes. 91%.
Okay. My double down is the Cavs.
That is mine as well.
All right, Jackson's double down is the Bucks.
It's probably smart. Zach's going Portland for his. he's been money on double down, so.
Well, I mean, we'll see.
Trevin's is Kings with chat. Connor's is Warriors.
We just need Aeromancer. He's also going Warriors.
All right. Thank you, everyone, for participating. Appreciate it.
Yep. So you got me and Derek going together with the Cavs. Connor and Aeromancer going together with the Warriors. Trevin and Chat going together with the Kings. And then you got Zach versus Jackson. Blazers versus Bucks. That's how the double downs are laid out today. All right. So, what was the question Devin asked earlier that you wanted to answer?
Oh, so he just asked, let me get the exact wording. If Blazers traded someone before tonight's game, whoever gets traded wouldn't play, correct? That's correct. Maybe they're going to wait till after the game for a trade. If they've already agreed to a trade, most teams would ask the other team to not play that player just so they don't risk getting hurt. So if someone from now until game time is a surprise scratch, then that could be the case. But yeah, I don't know if Portland can afford to do that right now, since they're already missing Nurk and Winslow. I'd be surprised if they waited till after the game to announce a trade or something.
Yep.
Rob Johnson asks, how do you feel about Bol? Decent, fun player, but I don't think the Magic are going to trade him, so I don't know. That's probably not worth talking about.
Yep. So, let's talk TPE too.
Okay.
So, chat, how many of you guys bought the misinformation that if you trade for a player using the $6.5 million trade exception, that player doesn't count towards your luxury tax? Because that's been misinformation that went around recently on Twitter from a guy that's followed pretty widely, and I had an argument with about that today with a Facebook page that was trying to tell me that I misinterpreted the CBA and that if you trade for a player using a $6.5 million TPE, which expires today, it doesn't count towards the tax. It was hilarious because the Blazers, of course, traded for Jeremy Grant using a $21 million trade exception, and he counts towards the luxury tax. And if he didn't, we wouldn't even have to worry about the freaking luxury tax right now. So that was a whole Twitter thing. But as far as the TPE goes, it expires today. What time does it expire, Eric? The league offices close for trade calls at a certain time, right?
Yeah, it would have been by now. So
it went unexpired.
If you called it in, or maybe there's a bat phone or something that you could say we got this deal done before midnight. I'm not sure. I'm guessing it's 9 p.m. then would be the absolute cutoff. I don't know how strict they are about that.
9 p.m. Pacific.
Right, because it'd be midnight Eastern. That would be the very latest. It would still be good. So you get a trade exception, just so everyone knows, when you trade out more salary than you bring back, or you use a trade exception to bring in a player and you send out matching salary. You can use your old trade exception and create a new one, which would be smart to do if we were going to do a Nasir Little or Justice Winslow, or Winslow and Keon and seconds or whatever for Jared Vanderbilt, which is the rumor that we've been telling you about since July that the Blazers have offered, and Utah to this point still has not accepted. So I'm going to be kind of frustrated with not using the TPE if we make a trade like that could have gotten us a new $4 million TPE to use till the trade deadline next year for this exact scenario. So that's going to be a little frustrating.
But how much of that would be, Danny Ainge just waiting?
Well, I mean, part of that is, I mean, yeah, you obviously can't make the other team do a trade today versus Thursday, but at the same time, you can also say after today that trade's off the table or something if they're close on a deal. So there are ways you can counter that. But if we do like a mid trade, even if it's not Vanderbilt, if it's for someone that would have fit in there, it is going to be kind of frustrating. But yeah, so what it seems like is happening though is that the Blazers are trying to go bigger than that, and that would probably make the TPE meaningless if they get a player making more than that $6.5 million. So if they pull that off, then it won't matter. If they end up doing nothing or something very small, then it's going to be a little frustrating, in my opinion.
I'm just sitting here wondering what would be bigger than that.
I think they're maybe revisiting the Siakam.
Okay.
But I don't know if they're willing to give up what that would cost.
What do you think it would cost?
The negotiations would start with Sharp, Nurk, Hart to match salary, and 3 unprotected first.
And that would mean unprotecting our fourth.
Unprotecting first. Another first, or using Hart to go to another team. Maybe you could get creative, get our pick back from Chicago, and then just use 3. But that's like bare minimum what it would cost to get Siakam.
I mean, that's just too much.
Yeah. I mean, that's not, if you think about it, it's similar to like the Donovan Mitchell trade. It's still less than the...
It's more. Because they got 4 firsts for Donovan Mitchell, right?
Yeah, well,
I mean, Laurie, I guess.
I mean, we can't
Laurie,
we can't really count the Chicago pick as part of that trade.
Yeah, I'm just saying, you're getting Sharp plus 3 firsts. Sharp is, with his potential, is as valuable as 3 firsts, if not more. Yeah. So that's like the equivalent of 6-7 first-round picks. Plus, if you trade Hart, that's probably the equivalent of another first-round pick, or at least Hart plus Nurk is probably the equivalent of at least another first-round pick. So you're giving up, 7 to 8 first-round pick value for Siakam?
Yeah.
It seems just way too steep to me.
I mean, that's basically the decision. I mean, if you want to keep Ant, it's basically that. Now, if you include Anthony...
I'd almost... Oh.
If you include Anthony and it's like Ant and Nurk, let's say, or Ant and Hart, and maybe you get away with a little less. But yeah.
What does chat think about this? Vando is ruled out. Out because of trade.
So underdog jokes around when they say so. They just, he was listed as questionable with a back injury, and they put out trade
deadline night.
Yeah, that's a joke, people. That doesn't mean he's for sure traded. It could, I mean, Utah could very possibly. It's actually more than likely that they're going to keep him out till the deadline where he's traded. But yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't read too much into injury report with the injury of trade deadline-itis.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, there's multiple things saying that Vanderbilt will be moved for a lower set of assets than a first-round pick. So, I mean, I've addressed that, like, 15 times maybe. Yeah, so love for that to be correct. We stand a really good chance of getting Vanderbilt for very cheap if that becomes the the case. I would love for that to be right. I just, from Ainge's point of view, I don't see why he would lower his value and not just wait to trade him in the offseason because he's under contract next year. If the best you can do is like an expiring in seconds, I don't see why he would have to trade Vanderbilt right now. I would think someone as smart as Ainge would call teams bluffs and wait for one of them to cave in at the last minute on when they strike out on another name on Thursday. So I'd be surprised. I'd be very, very happy. That it would be incredible if we got Vando for that cheap, because part of the reason why I've been against Vando like all season is because I don't want to give up a first for him or the equivalent of that. So I mean, I'll be happy if that's correct, but it's tough because like almost every team has seconds available. So why would they take like Winslow or even Nas in seconds versus one of the other teams' offers? I don't know.
Yeah. I'm not buying that. I don't think Ainge would would do that sort of trade. It's Danny Ainge. Would you rather get OG or Siakam? I mean, given the acquisition cost and given fit, I think OG would be the better play. Do you agree with that, Eric?
I want to see how many years Siakam has left on his contract.
Here, I can show you on stream.
I don't know if it's 2 or 3 years. Two years.
I was gonna throw up the.
Yeah. So he's got.
That's Toronto's payroll.
It'd be the same situation. So. Yeah.
Because that's a player option, for OG in his third year that he's gonna decline.
Yep. And then you have to pay him with $30 million probably. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know. It's probably like one or the other. Like we could probably get away with Sharp and 2 unprotected for OG, or maybe not Sharp with 3 unprotected. But you're probably gonna have to trade Nurk then or something, and then you're gonna have to find a center elsewhere. Unless you work that into a Hart trade, I don't know. Yeah. I don't know. I think both are overpays, and I mean, I get the mindset of going all in and giving Dame the best players he's had to work with at the peak of his powers right now. But I also hate the thought of giving up that much. I don't think they're that far away with good moves to where they are desperate enough to have to do that.
Yeah, I mean, Dame, Ant, Siakam, Grant, yeah, nice big 4 or whatever. Who's the starting 3, and is that team good enough defensively? You sub Nurk out and put Siakam in at the center spot?
Yeah, you probably almost have to get a cheap center somewhere added into that.
Yeah.
But their options would be pretty limited to someone making like the minimum or under 3.3 million with that other trade exception they have.
Yeah. What other rumors around the league? Or do you want to talk about the Kyrie trade? So I dropped a video on the Kyrie trade on NBA Uprise. It was a ramble style video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it if you watched it. If not, and you want my thoughts on a Kyrie trade, then watch that video after this stream, along with the trade deadline preview that I'll be dropping. But, Eric, what are your thoughts on that trade for both teams?
I actually love the trade for the Nets. I think they got 2 really good players, and one of those players, I am begging Joe Cronin to call and see if he's possibly available for Josh Hart, and that's Dorian Finney-Smith. I like his contract. I like what he would provide for this team. He's kind of that perimeter point of attack defender and a good enough 3-point shooter to, I think, completely change the complexion of this team without having to give up like the OG package, um, like I would actually prefer, a Hart and seconds or whatever Hart and maybe a minimal asset for Dorian Finney-Smith versus getting OG. I just think like he's a comparable defender. I mean, obviously he's not as good as OG, but I think given how much less we'd have to give up, that would be great. But yeah, I really like that. Now they have a bunch of really good perimeter defenders in Brooklyn with Finney-Smith and Ben Simmons, who they might want to trade to, but they also have Royce O'Neal. Kevin Durant is a good defender, so they have a lot of good wings right now, and they also have scorers. They have Claxton manning the middle. That team's going to be better, in my opinion, down the stretch, and we'll see if they make another move too. So I think that makes them pretty scary and a little bit more stable and more reliable once they get Kevin Durant back. As for the Mavericks, I do like them going for it with, I mean, that's like about as good of a player you can get without giving up a whole lot. You give up 2 good players and a first round pick, but it's not like terrible value wise for a starter in the All-Star game. So I like that mindset. I'm not a fan of trading those pieces for a guard when your main star is as much of an on-ball dominant player as he is. It's like what we talked about with Russell Westbrook in OKC for years. I just don't like trading for another player that needs the ball in his hands. If your main player, your star player, is a player that manipulates the ball and dominates the ball. So I don't really like Luka off ball. I understand the thinking, like you're trying to lower his usage rate a little bit because that usage rate isn't really sustainable long term throughout the history of the NBA, players that have had that much responsibility. But I don't know if Kyrie's the right fit for that, but it's it'll be interesting to watch them and see how it fits and stuff like that. And I don't mind the risk going for it. But Kyrie could also walk at the end of the year, and then what are they going to do? I guess they'd have some cap space, but what do you do? Resign Christian Wood and I don't know. So it's just kind of a weird mix in Dallas.
Yeah, I'm not worried about Kyrie walking. I think Kyrie will resign there. I don't think they do that trade unless they have confidence that they can resign Kyrie, and don't do that trade unless you're planning on giving Kyrie what he wants. So I think Kyrie will return there. My whole thing was you give up this for Kyrie, Eric, and then you're going to have to pay him more, and he comes with, some headaches. Why didn't they just re-sign Jalen Brunson then?
Yeah, right.
Should just pay Jalen Brunson more.
Yeah. Well, the funniest thing is they had I think it was 4 years, $56 million offer that Jalen Brunson asked for prior to last season, and they turned it down. And then obviously had to let him walk. But from what Shams and Woj were saying, though, is that the Mavs refused to give him the extension he was asking for. So I'm not 100% convinced that they're not taking a wait and see approach with him to see how it works out.
I mean, that just seems weird to not. I don't know what you want. You trade for a guy and then instantly don't give him what he wants, and what he wants is the reason he demanded a trade in the first place. It just kind of seems weird.
I mean, it could flake out at any minute, right? It's kind of tough to commit to that, and it's
very risky.
I guess Kyrie's camp was saying that they turned down an offer from the Nets that was incentive based, I think it had a heavy championship incentive in there to try to get him to commit to winning to get that money. But it came out, I mean, I don't know if this is 100% true today, that Kyrie would have declined a 4-year max offer with no incentives on it. So from the Nets, he wanted out of there. So, yeah, I don't know.
I wonder if this will... You remember when the Mavericks traded for Rajon Rondo?
Yeah.
How terribly that went?
He got in a fight with Rick Carlisle on the sidelines. Yeah.
Speaking of a former Celtic guard, I wonder if this goes down that same path.
It's possible.
So yeah, I don't like it. The sequence of events that led to them getting Kyrie. Like, asset-wise, yeah, that trade's absolutely fine.
Mm-hmm.
But they went wrong by not keeping Brunson and then trading assets for Kyrie.
Yeah.
I'd rather have Brunson on my team than Kyrie anyway. Like, I know Kyrie is more naturally talented and has better statistics and whatnot, but Brunson is really damn good. He should have been an all-star, in my opinion. And he's like really efficient, and I think he's a more competitive defender than Kyrie is, so they should have just kept him, is what I go back to. And I would rather have Brunson, Finney-Smith, and Dinwiddie than Kyrie.
Yeah.
So that's the thing, is their defense got worse, and the defense was always the question with them for the longest time, and now their best 3 players are subpar defenders. Maybe Christian Wood is average. I don't see how they're good enough defensively. They lost their best perimeter defender.
Speaking of Christian Wood, he apparently was offered to the Nets, and the Nets didn't want him.
Nobody wants him.
Which is interesting. And now Christian Wood's saying he's open to re-signing in Dallas in the offseason, but and hopes to be there. But yeah, I don't know what they're going to do with him. They obviously were shopping him and aren't really seeing eye to eye on an extension. So, but yeah, they've always needed. I mean, you can say the same for Portland, but that they need what Kyrie provides or what Brunson provided at either the power forward or center position, in my opinion. And as Portland knows, those pieces are a lot harder to get. We've seen all these guards traded over the years, and there's not as many forwards that get traded like that. So yeah, it's just tough to find that piece. And they've traded a lot of their draft picks and stuff, so they haven't really developed anyone through the draft in a couple of years now either. Outside of maybe if Josh Green takes a step up, he has showed some promise but hasn't really been consistent. So it'd be really interesting to see what happens, both if Kyrie stays or if he leaves next year and goes to another team. And then you got LeBron crying about it today.
Yeah. So what do you think about the Nets owner not being willing to trade Kyrie to the Lakers because that's where he wanted to go?
It's petty as heck, but I love it, man. I absolutely love it. Like I would be this, honestly, I would probably do the same thing. Like, no, I'm not gonna send you to your desired location. And I don't know. Like, I like that offer from the I like the Mavs offer that they chose. Mm-hmm. But the real interesting thing is the Phoenix offer. Now, what the heck are they going to do with Chris Paul now that he's been rumored to be involved with that package and they were willing to give up on him?
Phoenix is in a tough spot.
Yeah.
Because they keep selling out for these stars, but it's not working for them. It's not, they could have maybe had a better offseason last offseason if they weren't so caught up on Kevin Durant. And now it's like, I see all these Suns fans saying, oh, well, now Kevin Durant's going to ask out and we're going to finally get him. Like, what? I'm surprised they want to run back the summer and didn't learn from it, but that's the thing is Phoenix is kind of in a position where, what, do you think maybe it could blow up and you could get KD in the summer, or do you try and trade assets now so you can make a run this year? And do you feel like you can make a run with Chris Paul, who's been playing some better basketball lately? I don't know. They're just in a tough spot because they don't have young players. They do have their picks, but they don't have like young prospects for the future. Their window is obviously now, and they have to make that team better. And I don't know how they do it. But that's the thing is, like, you always see these teams, normally it's big market teams, but you always see these teams get caught up on big name hunting. And they just try and get the biggest names, the biggest stars, which makes sense, you know what I mean? I'm not saying necessarily that's a bad thing, but there's a certain point where you have to fill other holes, other needs on your team, and you neglect them by just hunting for that big name.
That's what Houston did for years. That's what the Lakers do. And it does affect their roster overall.
Yep. So
Houston paid Oklahoma City to take Chris Paul to get Russell Westbrook and still owe them picks in the future for that. And Chris Paul ended up being way better. Anyway, yeah, it's just weird.
Yeah. So it'll be interesting to see what the Suns do. Any other rumors?
Well, the Clippers package is interesting too. There's like Kennard and Terrence Mann, I think, salary filler and a first round pick. Oh, that would have been tempting too if I'm.
Mm-hmm. Have you seen? Well, they have a bad point guard situation right now. Did you see Reggie Jackson's lack of effort on like a possession, which reminded me of Norman Powell last year?
Yep.
Reggie Jackson's completely checked out. John Wall, he's a big name, but he's not a big-time player anymore. They need a point guard. That's their biggest need. Luckily for them, there's a lot of point guards available.
Yeah, and then the Heat, I don't know how trusted the source was, but the rumor was that it's obvious Lowry has to go, and they're going to be...
Why is that the case, though?
I don't know. I guess he's just not fitting in the locker room or something. I don't know.
That's strange to me because he seems like a guy that would.
Yeah.
But the Heat have been incredibly mediocre this year, so interesting. I don't even think Lowry would have many suitors.
Back to Toronto. Fred VanVleet.
Toronto, yeah. I mean,
yeah, I don't know.
Like maybe Chicago wants to reunite him with DeRozan because Lonzo Ball's injury problems are really, really bad.
Yeah, maybe.
But like, what contract do they trade for him?
The Clippers would want him, but I don't know how they make that work.
Yeah. And is there any other like rumors that have caught your eye lately?
Man, it's just, I mean, Cleveland, we haven't really talked about that, but Cleveland, I guess, is super interested in Josh Hart.
Yeah, I don't want, there's nothing realistic from Cleveland that I'd want for Josh Hart, Eric.
Yeah, well,
people were talking about an Isaac Okoro and Shetty Osman package. No, thank you. No, thank you. No. That's what I feel like the trade deadline might end up being, is something as just...
What if it's Nurk and Hart for Kevin Love?
I mean, well, that would just be... Yeah, didn't you say you go start Magic Uprise if that was the case?
Yeah, I'll be your guy on I'll give
trade deadline preview 2 years from now when the Magic are good.
No, I'll you guys could pick a team. I don't want a team that's like already good. Like I'll go for a bad team or whatever. so like a lottery team. So yeah, I'll be like Pistons Uprise. I'll just start a new channel under your watch. And yeah, you can get a new co-host for Blazers Uprise.
God, yeah, it'll be Stephen Vaughn just criticizing everything, and I wouldn't be able to blame him.
Stephen probably loves Kevin Love. No, just kidding. Just joking, Stephen.
Well, yeah, because
like,
he said
why is Eric mad about that? That's a good trade.
Because Steven said he outscored Kevin Love.
Yeah.
Steven said he outscored Kevin Love, so I don't know if that means he likes Kevin Love now or what the deal is, but apparently he has outplayed Kevin Love in high school, which is a better claim than I outplayed Robert Franks and I blocked Peyton Pritchard. So that's tough.
Yeah.
Anyway, if anybody wonders what I've been doing, I've been making the preview graphics as we talk. If anybody's wondering what all the clicking was.
Shout out to Gray, who investigates for the $5 donation. Kyrie and Luka will not be getting along. And then Connor with a $50 donation.
Oh, wow.
Thank you so much, Connor.
Thank you, Connor.
I think he wants you to ring or read or sing this one.
What? No, he wants you to.
No, it's definitely for you.
What the hell is wrong with you, Connor? No, I think Connor, who do you want to read that? Let me know. What? Eric is reading that because it's funny, says Connor.
Oh, okay.
We got the most people we've ever had on this channel too, and you're about to read this dono.
Do I have to sing it like the Fortnite?
No, you don't have to sing it. You can say it with a completely straight, low. Yeah.
My bestie and your bestie sit down by the fire. Your bestie says she want to party. So can we make these flames go higher? Talking, hey now, hey now. Hey now, hey now, hey now. Aiko, ene, Giacomo, phony, ene, Giacomo, fiat, nene.
What is that? That's amazing. All right, well, that's the best moment ever in the second channel's history. Thank you, Connor, for the $50 dono. That's my ringtone now, by the way. Whenever you call.
Cool. When I call when we make a trade in the morning. That's going to wake you up.
Yeah, it's going to be lit waking up to that. Anyway, that was awesome. Thank you for being a good sport.
Thanks for the donation.
Thanks for the donation, Connor. We might have planned that. Maybe. Anyway. How are you feeling now, Eric?
I'm a little weird because I just got a text message of a picture of my son who is at the haircut place right now and got his haircut. And I'm hoping he's okay because for those that don't know, like 3 years ago or so, we tried to give him a haircut using the clippers here at home, and he got a little traumatized with it because we made it a little shorter than he wanted, and he hasn't cut his hair since. So it's been like 3 years. It was super long, and he said he was never going to cut it ever again, and I can't tell in the picture if he's like super pissed off or if he's okay with it, but yeah, so hopefully he's okay. But yeah, I feel kind of bad that if he got talked into doing it, but yeah.
You didn't talk him into doing it?
I didn't talk him into it. Like, obviously it was getting kind of out of control, and he wasn't willing to put in the work to maintain long hair, which you have to do every day pretty much, and he was not willing to do that. So it was more a case of like, dude, you either have to commit to it or you have to cut it because you're not willing to do that. So yeah, so I think he got talked into it based on that, but yeah.
Well, hopefully he's doing all right.
Yep. Yeah, I thought it might have been a trade thing, but it was that.
I know. Ew, you breaking something live on stream like 2 minutes before Shams?
That'd be awesome.
That's my dream. That's my dream. And then I wake up to your phone call like Shams just tweeted that we traded. God, insert awful trade here. I'm not even gonna make it up.
Josh Hart and Nurkic for Kevin Love.
Yeah. Oh God.
And a second round pick.
Oh, God, stop.
But Kevin Love was like the 5th pick in the draft or something, or 3rd pick in the draft, so he's like a first round pick value.
Yeah, he's a first round pick. Better value than Keon for sure. Anyway, anything else you want to cover on this stream?
Just hoping the Blazers play well tonight, and
would be a pretty big win, man.
Yep, and hope to see all of you back after the game. Hopefully we can talk more about trades and stuff, and we're also celebrating the Blazers winning. And if you see someone like crying and hugging players on the sideline during the game, I don't think this front office would do that, but maybe that means there was a trade.
Yeah, then you can start reading into that.
Yeah. Yep.
So anyway, I'm gonna have the game preview out for this game very shortly. I've been finishing up the graphics for that, multitasking during this stream. So thank you to everybody for tuning in. If you haven't subscribed to our second channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button. This is the most viewers we've ever had in here live. And if you just found this channel but don't know of our main YouTube channel, just search Blazers Uprise without the live. Just Blazers Uprise on YouTube, you'll find it. And that's where we'll have our trade deadline stream on February 9th. And also where we'll go live if a trade breaks for your Portland Trailblazers. Also, NBA Uprise been uploading content for that. You can help us get to 1,000 subs by going over there, hitting that subscribe button. Did a Kyrie trade reaction over there. So, anyway, that's a wrap. Eric?
Yep. Thanks, everyone, for watching. Have a good evening and enjoy the game. We'll see you later.
Yep, absolutely. This has been the Blazers Uprise. I almost said Blazers Uprise postgame show. This has been Blazers Uprise Live, presented by Bet Online. Promo code BELIEVE, BLEAV, for those picks against the spreads. If you want in on them, we're out of here. Until next time, as always, peace out. Go Blazers.